This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Whether you're packing for a vacation or dressing for a wedding, Nordstrom has head-to-toe looks for wherever summer takes you. From swimwear and bold color to romantic florals and dresses that make an entrance, find the right style for every unforgettable moment. Shop new arrivals from brands you love like Farm Rio, Free People, Vince, Wait, and Stod. Plus free shipping and returns and styling help whenever you need it make it all so easy. Shop now in stores at Nordstrom.com or download the Nordstrom app.
Girl, winter is so last season. And now spring's got you looking at pictures of tank tops with hungry eyes. Your algorithm is feeding you cutoffs. You're thirsty for the sun on your shoulders. That perfect hang on the patio sundress. Those sandals you can wear all day and all night. And you've had enough of shopping from your couch. Done hoping it looks anything like the picture when you tear open that envelope? It's time for a little in-person spring treat. It's time for a trip to Ross. Work your magic.
Naturally saturated fats have a very different impact on your health than artificially saturated fats. So what you want to avoid are artificially saturated fats, and what you want to avoid are oxidized fats.
Here's JJ Virgin, triple board certified nutrition and fitness expert and 4-time New York Times best-selling author. It's time to reignite wellness.
Hey, welcome to Friday Q&A. So I was just doing a Facebook and Instagram live recording a podcast, and Dolores popped in because I was talking about kitchen staples. And one of the kitchen staples that you'll want to make sure you have, especially when you're on a budget, is coconut milk. And she asked the question that I just keep hoping that our whole view of fat will start to shift. But her big question was, wait a minute, coconut milk is so high in saturated fat. So glad that she asked that question. And it was really a question. She said, so isn't coconut milk too high in saturated fat? And so we've got to look at fat and go, all right, first of all, I think we've gotten to a point where we understand that we need fat to be healthy, that one of the most significant things that you can do in your diet is to make an oil change, to move into foods that have anti-inflammatory fats, not pro-inflammatory fats, right? We tend to have a diet that's very high in pro-inflammatory fats, very low in anti-inflammatory fats. And what we want to do is shift that equation to focus more on monounsaturated fats and omega-3 fats, minimizing omega-6s. And then as far as saturated fats go, what we really want to look at is, are they naturally saturated like coconut milk? Or are they artificially saturated like hydrogenated oils, like those crappy oils that are in the grocery store in the plastic containers? Couldn't be worse. That's just leaching, the chemicals and estrogens out of the plastic into the oil, right? I mean, it's just a double whammy with the light hitting down on it, making it rancid. But remember, they pumped in hydrogen ions into oil to make it more saturated so that it would not oxidize. That's the whole point of it. Naturally saturated fats have a very different impact on your health than artificially saturated fats. So what you want to avoid are artificially saturated fats, and what you want to avoid are oxidized fats. So even something good like flaxseed, if you've got it ground and sitting out and exposed to air, will become bad because it will start to oxidize. So this is where you need to be careful. Now, saturated fat for a long time was implicated in heart disease, but when you start to look at the research, you can see there's a lot more to it than that. Of course, genetics come into play. There's a specific type of person that can have the genetics that don't do well with fats. It's the type of fats. It's if they're oxidized or rancid or artificially saturated. So the actual coconut milk, I think they did a study out of, I remember it was one of the tropical climates, and they found that people who were eating a more rich diet in coconuts had a lower risk of heart disease, and especially second heart attacks, because of the antimicrobial effects of that coconut milk. So there's always more to it. And I think the biggest part with fat is we want to eat from the trifecta of protein, fat, and fiber. So moderate amounts of clean protein. You don't need to go overboard here, and depending on what's going on with your life, these needs shift up or down. If you're, working out super hard. If you're recovering from surgery, you'll need more protein. If you're more sedentary, older, need a little less protein. But moderate protein, your optimal amount. Loads of non-starchy vegetables, 5 or more servings. More is better. A little bit of low sugar impact starchy carbs. And then the rest is healthy fats. And it's really that balance of healthy fats. It's making sure that you get some good monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, things like avocado, raw or slow roasted or dehydrated nuts and seeds, wild fish, and then some saturated fat would come from things like coconut and some grass-fed beef. So it's really about getting that blend of it. It's not eating all anti-inflammatory because we actually need to have a balance between inflammatory and anti-inflammatory. Otherwise, if you cut your finger, you just bleed out. So you need both, but we tend to eat way too much of the inflammatory fats and not enough of the anti-inflammatory fats. So that's why we always stress those. So again, let's talk healthy fats, the ones you want to be focused on. Grass-fed beef, wild fish and wild seafood, raw nuts and seeds. And actually what I like to do with the nuts is soak them overnight in a water with some sea salt and then low roast them or dehydrate them. And we can put that recipe in JJ Virgin Questions. jjvirgin.com/questions is where we put our Friday Q&A information. And then avocados. And the oils that we use are avocado oil, grapeseed oil, real olive oil. Shout out to my buddies over at the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club. We can put some information about that as well here. And if you're not intolerant, of course, the egg yolks, pastured egg yolks can be amazing as well. And coconut oil. All right, there you go. That'll do it for today. If you've got a question, pop on over to my Instagram, jj.virgin, or Facebook, JJ Virgin Official, and you can leave a question, DM me, leave one on my wall. We pull them up. I answer them here and love hanging out with you live too while I'm recording my podcast. So thanks again for your support. Remember, subscribe to jj.com. You can subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Bye.